I'm Paul Smith, host of Food Farm Talk. We broadcast here from the treaty lands of the Mississauga of the Credit First Nation on CFRU 93.3 FM at the University of Guelph in Ontario and on podcast around the world. Today I'm glad to introduce Isaac Quansah to listeners. He's our new host for Food Farm Talk, joining me in producing and hosting the show. Food Farm Talk is a show about food and farming and rural life in Ontario, Canada, and way beyond that. We cover hot topics in food and agriculture and rural life and showcase voices of farmers, researchers, students, foodies, activists, all kinds of people. Way back in 2018, Emily Duncan and Abdul Abdullahi, two PhD students in geography, started Food Farm Talk. And I joined them in 2019. Seems like an eternity ago. Emily and Abdul have obviously moved on to bigger and better things in their careers. And this summer, Isaac has joined the crew. So welcome, Isaac.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah. Great to have you aboard.
Yeah.
So this episode is really kind of an introduction of Isaac to our listeners. So we'll start off with a nice softball question. Maybe you can introduce yourself to the listeners and tell us where you're originally from, a bit about how your journey led you here to the University of Guelph.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. I'm glad to join this episode of the Food Farm Talk Show. I'm very, very glad for this opportunity to also come and share my experience and also, bring out whatever I have acquired, in my studies at the University of Guelph. So my name is Isaac Quansah. And originally, I'm from Ghana, West Africa, the gateway of Africa, a country full of tourism, a country, a peaceful country whereby people are so happy living together as one people, which is a very common in Ghana. We are one, and unity is, a form of development for every country. So I'm from Ghana. I came to Canada in 2024. I studied postgraduate certificate at the Conestoga College. That is 1 year course there in global hospitality management. So after my postgraduate studies at the Conestoga College, I decided to further my education to acquire another field in the field of capacity development and extension, and with a specialization in international development studies at the University of Guelph. So after my postgraduate certificate, I joined the University of Guelph for a master's program to acquire knowledge in the field of agriculture, in the field of community engagement, so that as somebody who have the ambition or the passion for development, that motivated me to join the University of Guelph after my postgraduate studies at the Conestoga College. So I've been in Guelph for almost a year now, and this is my final semester, and it has been very amazing with professors who are always supporting us and guiding us in our studies. So it has very, very been amazing, my studies at the University of Guelph so far. And like I said, this is my final semester, which has been very, very amazing. Like Professor Helen, who has very, very been supportive for my studies, and I'm very glad for that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. We'll delve into all of that as we go along. Yeah. And I think lots of listeners would be curious about your upbringing and your background in Ghana and where you grew up in Ghana, in the capital city or beyond, or what part of it, and sort of what was life like there. And you went to school there as well. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about that too.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Paul, for this one too. I was born and raised in Ghana. Throughout my life, I've stayed in Ghana for very long. Like I said, this coming to Canada was my first international traveling. All my life, I've been living from what we call the kindergarten education till university, where I acquired my first degree. So I had my first degree at one of the prominent universities in Ghana, where I studied education and political science. And I was very interested in development. Looking at where I'm from, West Africa, and specifically Ghana, we had a lot of challenge with development. So my interest was more about development. So when I went to the university for my first degree, I studied education and political science, where I had more interest in development studies. And I mean, Ghana is an amazing country with schools that, I mean, provide adequate knowledge to students. You know, we have a system whereby students are acquired knowledge throughout their studies, and when they come out, they use that experience to help the community in which they live in. So life in Ghana is very amazing. You get opportunity to learn a lot of things, and culture, like I said, culture is one important thing that Ghanaians don't joke with it. We have a very unique culture in Ghana, where the way we do things, the food, our favorite food like fufu. Fufu, I don't know if you have heard of fufu before.
No.
Yes,
No,
one day when I take you to Ghana, I will prepare some for you where people like it. That is my favorite. Fufu in Ghana is our traditional, one of our traditional dishes.
Cool.
So yeah, I enjoy it.
So what's involved in making that? What are the ingredients?
So very good. So we have cassava, and I know
Right.
you know cassava, right? Yes. Then you mix it with plantain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you mix it with plantain, then you pound it or you mix them. Sometimes traditionally we used to pound it with the pestle and mortar.
Oh yeah.
But now, you know, modernity has come in.
Sure.
People use machines to mix it and a whole lot of things. Then the soup, we have a lot of soup. People eat it with a lot of soup. Like we have granite soup, we have panno soup, we have light soup. So whichever is your favorite, you can choose to go with it, and it's so delicious. It's very delicious. So that is my favorite.
Yeah. So did you grow up with? Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I have. We are almost 8.
8.
Yeah, we are 8, and I'm the 7th.
Okay.
Born. Yeah, so I'm the 7th born, and amazingly, I was the first to attend university.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was the first to. I mean, unfortunately, my other siblings couldn't get the opportunity financially. You know, I was born in a village in Ghana called Besiase. That is the village I was born in, and fortunately for me, I was able to move to the city. So I mean, get some knowledge, start school again. So my other siblings couldn't get that opportunity. So, but I was fortunate to get to the university there. But I came to live in Accra, the city, the capital city of Ghana, which is Accra.
Yep.
Yeah, I came to Accra in 2009.
So did your whole family move there, or just you?
No, so my sister was there.
Okay.
And I decided to join her because of schooling. Because being at the village, sometimes you don't get the let me say, even if the opportunity is there, the system of education at the village is very poor. You don't get the tools and everything to learn. You don't get access to the technology. Let me say it, like access to technology to learn. So my mom realized how brilliant I was at the village. So they decided to, help me to move to the city. That there you can have access to technology for education and a whole lot of things. So I joined my sister there. So I came there in 2009. Then I came to start junior high school there. Then from there I moved to the senior high school. Then fortunately for me, I was able to continue my university.
Cool. Yeah. Well, and your background, sort of that certainly coming from the rural areas and the village into Accra, that sort of obviously kind of explains your interest in international development. And I think most of our listeners would understand international development. It's in the news a lot these days, especially with what's going on in the U.S. So, but studying here at University of Guelph, they have your department is called Capacity Development and Extension. And so maybe you can talk a bit about what that means for the average person, because you and I might understand that, but the person on the street might not understand that, and how that kind of relates to international development. So if you're interested in development in rural areas, for example, what would capacity development and extension look like in an area like that, if it's in Ghana or somewhere else?
Okay. Thank you, Paul, for this. So I came to the University of Guelph to pursue my Master of Science in Capacity Development and Extension. Then I had a specialization in International Development Studies. So let me talk about what capacity development is. When we talk about capacity development, it is whereby you help a community mobilize the knowledge, the skills they have to build their own selves. So you help a community. Every community has talent. They have the skills. They have the resources. But how to utilize these resources is the challenge. Or as somebody who is knowledgeable in capacity development, it is my responsibility to help this community mobilize these skills, this knowledge, this talent to build themselves. most communities, when you travel there, they are always expecting people to come and help build something for them.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I have to go. Okay, you have this knowledge. You have a knowledge of, agriculture. You can do this. You can do this. Yes, then I'm guiding you so that knowledge that you have, you can use that knowledge to build yourself in the area of farming, in the area of fishing. So that is all what capacity development is.
Yeah.
You help a community use their own skills to build themselves,
right,
what they have.
Yeah,
to build
exactly.
themselves. Than being dependent, that they have to depend on other expertise to come and do it for them. In this case, no. Capacity development is not in that school of thought. Our school of thought is that help them. Let them know that this is the skills you have and you can use it to build yourself.
Yeah, do it yourself.
Then I will come to the extension. So capacity development and extension. So when we are talking about the extension, that is whereby researchers, the connection between researchers and experts in knowledge mobilization. So like an extension, when you go to most of the villages, we have extension officers, maybe appointed government extension officers. What they do is that they come in, the farmers are there, they need some help. They have done research, they are experts, they come, they bring this together to help those who are at the rural areas or the farmers. They come and educate them. They use what is research, what is to come and educate them, to guide them.
So does Ghana have extension officers in rural areas or
Exactly. Yeah. So Ghana, we have extension officers. They are part of the municipalities.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they are part of that. So every municipality or assembly. So Ghana, we also have local systems. We have local systems in Ghana, decentralization and local systems in Ghana. So every district or every municipality has their offices whereby the expertise are there, and some of the expertise are the extension officers who goes to the villages or the farmers to educate them on what is happening, modern way of farming, the use of chemicals in fishing, the use of chemicals in planting. So that is what the extension officers does. So Ghana, we have such people who are doing amazing work there.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. Lots of parallels. Certainly have something like that in Canada, but it's gone through lots of changes and downsizing and so on. So why don't we talk about here at CFRU? Now you're going to be another host of this show, and so maybe you can talk about what sparked your interest in radio and podcasting and using media, and I can kind of see how it might fit into your international development interest and using it as a tool for that. But tell us about what you think about that.
Yes, so thank you very much. Joining CFRU 93.3 FM is something that I am very, very proud of. Like I said, though I do not have a pro or an experience in radio and broadcast show, but today I always say researchers have proven that communication is a tool for development. Communication is a tool for development. So as somebody who is interested in development studies, I think that using this opportunity to communicate to other part of the communities about how they can preserve food, how they can, use what they have to build themselves is something that I have been, dreaming of. And like I said, Paul, I have colleagues back home who are just home. Sometimes we just sit down as a group of people and we discuss development issues in Ghana. We can be taking some sectors in the economy, in the agri sector, in every sector of the economy. Then we discuss. So it is something that I have always been proud of. That anytime I wish the opportunity to get to, broadcast, through communication, tell other people that yes, we can do this. Yes, this is the current things that are happening. So joining CFRU is something that I'm so proud of, and I've been dreaming for this opportunity to come into my life so that the use of communication as a tool for development, I can also share my idea through communication and through radio broadcasting.
Yeah, that's great. And part of what we do at Food Farm Talk is play other shows episodes from other podcasts and radio shows, and including a number of international development, Farm Radio International and EFAD, International Fund for Agriculture Development. We play some of their shows on here too, right along the lines of what you're talking about.
Okay.
So what's interesting to me too is that you're able to do this summer as part of a credit for your towards your master's degree.
Yeah.
And I know Helen Hambley has helped you arrange that. So maybe you can talk about how you're working that out.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Paul. So this semester, there is a course which leads to this, and I'm here. That is Career and Professional Pathway. Career and Professional Pathway. So as a master's student, you have gone through the theory of studies, and it is now that you bring that knowledge outside to gain more experience about that. So the course that leads to this is Career and Professional Pathway in Canada. So we are using this opportunity, and I think it's a very great opportunity to build yourself, to bring out the theory that you have studied in class outside, to have that experience, how to mobilize. Like I said, capacity development is how you help community. So we are out to help the community, knows that they have the talent, they have the skills, they have the knowledge, and they can use that to build whatever they want to build, being in the area of agriculture, farming, community development, community initiatives, anything. So that is what this course leads to. It will bring you out to use the knowledge that you have acquired in classroom.
Yeah, and that's great. And you can turn this into a bit of a commercial for that kind of capacity.
Yeah.
In a sense, that's capacity development, developing your skills to do this,
Yes,
and potentially do it elsewhere as well.
exactly.
So future students, undergrad and master students, could do the same thing you're doing.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
so that's sort of a commercial
Yes.
for future students to do the same thing on this show and for other things on CFRU. It's a great learning opportunity.
Yes.
And I would kind of point out Helen Hambley.
Mhm.
Her name is on the door across
The
the
studio. Yeah,
hallway
when
here.
I came here and I said, wow, that is amazing. So Helen has a studio named after her. That was
Yeah.
so amazing. I saw it. I said, oh, wow. So I think from here, I will send her an email. Say, oh, I saw your studio. I never knew you had a studio named after her. And I think it is because of she's doing great things. Professor Helen is, an amazing woman who has been very, very supportive, both in classroom and outside
So
classroom.
did you ever tell you any stories about what her involvement at CFRU was?
Not yet.
No?
But from here,
You're working
I think
on that?
that is an assignment that I'm going to do to find
Yeah.
out. I saw a studio name after you. What happened? Or,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that goes back a long ways, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
So now that you're coming onto the show, maybe you can talk about what kind of topics and guests you might want to interview or have themes for shows you'd like to do on a Food Farm Talk.
So joining CFRU for the Food Farm Talk show, I have an amazing topics episodes I'm bringing on board, and talking about repeatable and prominent professors who are also there to help us bring out issues and also discuss issues and how we can also find solutions. So this is going to be like a podcast, a talk show, whereby we discuss matters of concern. We have a lot of farmers who are doing great jobs outside. They need us to also come and visit them so that whatever challenges that they are having, they can also share with that. And we have a lot of professors too who have a lot of research that has been done and is not being discussed. These researches are not being discussed for us to know the importance of them. So we need all these things to come on board. So we will have professors who will join us to discuss issues. We will have expertise who have knowledge in food systems, who have knowledge in agriculture to also come and help us. You have institutions like the Canada Food Bank who also we would like to learn from them. So whenever they are going through challenges, they don't know that there is an institution that they can visit for an assistance. So all these institutions too, we need them to come and to also discuss how if I need an assistance, what is the process?
So beyond professors, what do you think about in terms of community groups or people in the community you'd like to to get on to talk about their topics of interest?
Yes, so like I said, we have like the community, we have farmers who, we would like to, have, discussions with them about their issues, about a topic that is of national interest that we would like to also bring them. We have professors too, who are like the University of Guelph. We have great professors who are here that we would like to also have an interview with them. And like I said, we have researchers
Right.
who have done a lot of research, and we need them to come and explain to us so that we can, because most of the research are so important that when it is shared for everyone to know, it is going to be something which is going to benefit everyone. So we have those people too among us. Then expertise, people who have the knowledge in the.
So are there maybe you have some professors that were particularly influential in your career so far at Guelph, and maybe you're thinking of, maybe you don't want to let the cat out of the bag and mention their names, but maybe you do have some people you
I do. I can mention of almost 3 of them that I do have, doing an amazing job, and I think when we bring them on board to come and share their experience with us, it's going to be something everybody is going to benefit from their knowledge that they are imparting. So I have great professors. Like I said, even we would like to know how come a studio was named.
Anybody
after
else
Helen?
you can mention in particular other than Helen? I presume you might want to have Helen Hambley on here.
So I have Professor Daihan. Professor Daihan, he is an amazing, his area of expertise is into institutions, organizations, institutions. That is his research interest. He's into how organizations helps community develop, institutions helps community develop. Then I have Professor Ataharu. Professor Ataharu too is he's also had expertise in food systems. That is, the use of AI in food systems, and also miscommunication, the impact of miscommunication.
I know. He'd be a great person to have on too. Exactly. Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
So that's good. That's a good start for who you're going to bring on.
Then I think students too. We have students who are doing very well, who are doing great research. Some of them, they want to share their research areas. They want to share the knowledge that they have acquired. So students who is one of the people that we would like to bring on board. Yeah,
you've met lots of PhD and master students that are doing research too. So
exactly.
So have you lined up some of them, or talked to some of them about what they might talk about if they come on the show?
Yes. So I have. In my last class, one of the courses that is research in development studies. I think research context in development studies. I had one PhD student who joined that class, and she's an amazing person. And I think I would like to have access to her email. I would like to talk to her to come and share something with her. She's a PhD. I think she's a PhD student, and she joined the master student to do that course. Then I have some of my colleagues too, my classmates too, that also are doing very well. And I think it is important the students also come out, have this experience to share their idea, their experience with our listeners. Yeah.
So what do you think the idea we've talked about international development and capacity development and so on, and using podcasting and radio as tools, and obviously lots of agencies and organizations are doing that across the developing world and the developed world as well. What do you see as the role that Food Farm Talk, CFRU, and other stations and organizations like that can play in social change and development?
Like I said, now communication is a tool for development. So seeing this program, the Food Farm Talk, how we can use this program to make a lot of impact in the communities. Most of the people in the communities has the talent, have the skills, but they have the resources, but how to utilize these resources is a challenge. So getting this or using this opportunity to educate the people to understand that, okay, yes, this is the skills that I have, this is the knowledge that I have, and this is how I can use it to make an impact in the community, is something that I think the Food Farm Talk program is going to, do for our people, so that our listeners, so that whatever skills that they have or whatever challenges that they have, the program is going to be of help. So it's going to help institutions to also create an awareness. Most people most people are not aware of certain things, certain food, certain systems that are being practiced. So we are going to use this program to also create a system of awareness. So aside educating the people or our listeners, we are also going to create our awareness that people should be aware of what they eat, the importance of food, what they eat. Previously, we only eat to satisfy ourselves, but now food is health.
Mm-hmm.
And when you eat and you eat well, you are able to maintain your health very well. So the program is going to be an educational program, and also to create an awareness. And all these things are in the form of development. When you educate someone, you have developed the person.
Right. So I want to talk more about what you might do with this beyond CFRU, because we're at university here, so we don't have as much impact as we might. We try to. Community radio is an important force, but and I was reading about radio in Africa. Actually, it was very interesting to me to find out about this, about how call-in shows, like development related, like agriculture related ones, so that the farmers could phone in to a radio show and talk to, and this was a form of extension that the extension officer would be on the radio and talking to people on their cell phones and getting advice from them that way, which is, to me, is a very interesting way to do it. You can reach a big audience, right? I don't know if Ghana has something like that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And is that one example of the kind of things you might want to do with these skills?
Exactly. We want everybody to be part of it. Sometimes it's not everyone who will be available to listen when we are on live, but when we say it on our social media platforms, so I think people also join to make comments, to ask questions, where we will also follow up to answer them. So we have such there, and I think maybe when we bring an expert, maybe a researcher, or maybe somebody who has experts in some food systems, or maybe food health and food security here, we can create the platform whereby our listeners can either phone in or have the opportunity to ask questions either through our social media platform. So it is something necessary, or something that I think it will be of good help, that we always make sure that our listeners do not just listen and go, but they listen and they are part.
Interactive.
As the program is interactive. They can also interact with us to also understand that okay, they can ask questions and we can provide an answer to them to help them, because we are not only educating, we are educating and also providing solutions, because most people might need solution to our whatever they are going through in the communities.
Yeah. Do you see yourself working in the international development business, if you like, for whether it's for an NGO or government or in the future? Is that where you want to take your education, or is there some other pathway you'd like to embark on?
My interest is community development. I try to take research. I try to analyze how community should be developed. Like I said, the use of mobilization of skills, talents, resources to develop a community. So it can be in the area of farming. Sometimes you meet a young man or a young guy who is so brilliant and they just need support. How are we going to support them? Maybe they might not know that there is an association or an organization or an institution that can help them use the talent they have to develop themselves. So that is something that is always, like I said, in Africa, you see the young man has talent, they have the skills, especially Ghana, they have but who is going to help them, guide them to use that skills to develop themselves? So I think seeing myself in the future as a development expert in the area of community development, whereby skills, talent, resource utilizations, we can mobilize all this for the people in the communities to develop themselves. They don't need to depend on anybody. They don't need to depend on any institution. They don't need to depend on the government. No, once that they know that they have the talent, they have the skills, and the resources are there, all what they have to do is to develop themselves. Like I said, Ghana, we practice a central system of government, whereby everything, the government have to come from the top to come and do it for those who are the down, which I see it wrong. That the people at the community or the rural areas should be able to develop their communities with the resources that they have. All what governments have to do is to be of what? Support these people, bring in the requisite tools, the resources for them to develop. But you don't have to wait for the government to always come from the top,
right,
to help you.
So do you see yourself being part of that kind of change to decentralize?
Exactly. A proper decentralization system whereby those at the rural areas has the resource, they have the skills, they have the talent, and they can develop themselves without always relying on the central government.
Now, do you see yourself going back to Ghana and doing that in Ghana or some other place, or is that too far off at this point?
Yes. So as for Ghana, I always want to go back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I always want to go back to Ghana because whatever I'm studying here is the main reason is to gather this knowledge, acquire this knowledge, the system that is being practiced here. I always discuss the system that is being practiced here to my colleagues back in Ghana. I always tell them that when I came to Canada, when I'm driving, sometimes when I'm walking, I'm just monitoring how things are being done. The municipalities, how they have arranged things when it comes to resource mobilizations, when it comes to personnel who are working. I always discuss it, that you see everybody doing something in the community. Everybody is doing something. Those who are helping, the government build infrastructures are doing, everybody is doing something. But in Ghana, everybody is just waiting for the government to come and do it for them, which I see it to be wrong. And it is because of the system that is being practiced that, everything the government have to come in. But I see it to be so different from what is being practiced in Canada here, that everybody is involved. The community, they themselves, they have the resources, they have the skills, they have the knowledge, and they can develop themselves.
Yeah, now, making those kind of changes, that's, it's complex in the sense of it's partly political and partly technical. Yeah. And how do you see yourself fitting into that? Are you interested in the political side of that, or are you more focused on the technical and professional development part of that?
I think, like you said, sometimes you have to join the political arena to, bring this change. Sometimes it's not always that you have to join. There are other NGOs that you can join to bring this change.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I might join the politics side of it in the future. But for now, I just want to join the non-governmental organizations so that we can bring this change. Because, like I said, politics in Africa is maybe another time we might have time to go deeper into politics in Africa.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
A whole lot of episode. It is sometimes it delays development. Politics in Africa, to me, it delays development because of the politicization of everything. Everything seems to be politics to them. And for them, politics is winning election. So if you join politics, if you don't take care, you forget the development part of politics. So sometimes people prefer to join non-governmental organizations to help the community develop than joining the politics side of it. But whichever way it comes, if I get opportunity to serve in government, I will use these skills to help communities develop. If not to, for now, I would like to contact non-governmental organizations, and I'm even thinking of establishing one. I'm even thinking of establishing one. That what I would do is to always go into the communities, look for those who are talented with the skills, with the knowledge, let them know that these resources that they have, they can turn into this, they can turn into that with the skills that they have, so that they can build themselves without always relying on politicians.
Is there a particular aspect of life in Ghana that needs a new group to work on, or a different style?
Yes, the municipalities. Yeah, the municipalities, the administration of the municipalities in Ghana, like I said, the functions of them, I see that it need a total change. It need a new style. It needs something that we have to look into it, because I always try to do comparison. In politics, there is something called comparative politics. You pick what is here and you pick what is here. Then you compare, look at the difference,
right?
The similarities. you understand, what is good here, you bring it into your own. You borrow it and
so
bring it exactly. So
your ideas you might borrow from other places and bring them
there
to
are a lot
Ghana.
of ideas here that I would like to borrow in terms of how the municipal assemblies run their system. It is so amazing, very efficient. But I see that star not being implemented in Ghana. I see that most of our municipal assemblies are relaxed. They are not efficient, and the system of administration that they are administering is very, very poor. And I think because they also always rely on the central government to always provide them with the resources. So I think they need to be independent. That once that there is a municipality in a region, they are responsible for the development of that region. And that is whereby they need to utilize the resources that they have to develop that. So that star, which is being done here, the municipal assemblies, the Guelph Municipal Assembly, what they are doing to develop Guelph, I think those ideas have to be borrowed back home to help the communities also to develop.
Well, that's interesting. You talked about municipalities and their role. And why don't we talk a little bit about agriculture and farming as it's practiced in Ghana versus here in Canada, and some of your thoughts about that and what you might want to see happen in regarding agriculture in Ghana.
So far, the agriculture system or the farming system that we practice in Ghana is still traditional. When I say traditional, I think we still rely on manpower. When I say manpower, I hope you understand. Yes, instead of what is being done here, the introduction of technology in farming, we still have, not enough in Ghana that people have to, rely on the hard way of doing farming. That is, they themselves have to look for cutlass, weed, and a whole lot of things. And I think it is something which is of concern that agriculture is the backbone of every economy. Every economy now is developing because of agriculture. If there is no food, people cannot survive. So it is very, very necessary that as a government and as a people, we concentrate on how to modernize our agricultural system, our farming system. Ghana, I see most of the farmers are still relying on, the hard way of farming. So because of that, they are not able to plant and produce enough. And my father was a farmer. I was born in a farming community. So, and I am a farmer myself, because I remember when I was growing up, I always want to acquire a little land, then plant something, plant maize, plant cassava. I had a big cassava farm. And I know do you know cocoa? You have heard of cocoa? Yes, in Africa I think Ghana is one of the countries that produce cocoa a lot in Africa. We are doing very well. My father was a cocoa farmer. So growing up, I used to take care of my father's cocoa farm. So I'm a farmer myself because I was born in a village. Yeah, I was born in a rural area. So when I was growing up, anytime I see a land there, I just try to utilize that land, plant something on it. So I remember I used to plant cassava, I used to plant granite, I used to plant maize, and even cocoa. Even till now, I have a cocoa farm. I still have a cocoa farm back at the village.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
still going.
Yeah, which I planted long ago. Yeah. So yesterday I spoke to my brother. I asked him, "So how is my cocoa farm doing?" He said, "Oh, you still remember that farm?" I said, "Yeah, I still do." I said, "Yes." So I think our government and other stakeholders have to know that farming system has changed. The traditional way of farming is not working enough. We need the introduction of technology, whereby farmers can have machines that can weed their farms for them. They have the chemicals that can help their plants grow. All these things are challenges that the farmers are facing. And sometimes, you produce to make sure that they are the primary production, the secondary productions are all ready, then the tertiary. Sometimes when they are done with planting, they don't get the institution or the organization that will come and buy this, food to, also go and use it for any secondary production. I'm talking about not enough factories. So most of them plant all these things, and at the end of it, it's waste. The food is wasted.
Not as much food processing.
Exactly. The machine food processing and all those things are not enough. So farming in Ghana is not that encouraging. It is not encouraging because the farmers still rely on the hard way of doing things. Like not compared to what I see in Canada. When you are going to Elora, when you are going to St. Jacobs, you see the farmers are using machines working, which makes it efficient.
Yeah.
They're able to produce enough. And the machine food processing tool is available. That is available to also, buy whatever the farmers are planting or they are producing. I think as we keep going, the government have to look into all these things to produce enough machines, technology, the technological way of farming, which has come to stay. The government have to, borrow this to also help the farmers in Ghana to plant and produce more of their products.
Higher productivity. Yeah. This is a bit of the holy grail of international development is to produce more food and sustainably for the populations.
For the population. Yes.
And there are lots of different opinions about how to do that too, right? That technology adoption, and some of it's related to income levels. So there are challenges in doing that.
Right? There are a lot.
A
lot of them. When you talk to the farmers, you see that yes, they are going through a whole lot of challenges because of government's limited role, government's limited support in what they are doing. So most of them are not able to produce more.
So the extension officers you were talking about earlier, they would be involved in that kind of trying to get technology adoption.
Exactly, because they are closer to the government. They are in the municipalities, they are in the assemblies. So they are closer to the people, the farmers, and also to the government, because they channel the grievances of the farmers to the government. So once that government use them, they are able to go to the farmers, then educate them in the modern way of farming. Like I said, most of them are still relying on the traditional way of farming. But
but I guess there's a lot of people talk about the smallholder farmer in Global South, and that it's a different kind of approach is needed than for sort of Western style agriculture. What do you think of that?
Yes.
Different approaches needed, and what kind of technology adoption would be appropriate to help? Yes.
So like I said, when you come to Canada, you see that most of the farmers even have machines that help them plant their plants for the day, plant whatever they want to plant for them. The machines are doing the work, sometimes weeding the land and a whole lot of things. But in Africa, these farmers have to use their hand. They have to use cutlass with a hand, and you see how you will be tired soon. You are not able to weed enough. Maybe if you want to plant like maybe 30 acres of land or whatever it is, when you are using the manpower, it is not going to be enough for you. You are not be able to do even one or 2 acres. So, but if government should produce more machines for them to plant enough.
Well, I think this would be a great topic for an entire episode or multiple episodes to talk about, but even just the agriculture in Ghana by itself and all these challenges you're talking about and different approaches to improvements that could be made. And so maybe those are good topics for you to pursue.
Yes, we will look into that. We will look into that, Paul. Yeah, we will look into that, Paul.
So we talked about a lot of different things today. Are there things that you'd like to mention now before we sign off?
Yeah. So thank you very much, Paul, and thank you to our listeners too. And they join us every Thursday to listen to this our new episodes that we are bringing on board. It is going to be an interactive program. We need their support. We need their cooperation. We need their input into this. That they join us on CFRU 93.3 FM to always bring in their input. Let's analyze issues. Let's discuss issues. Let's go into the bottom of what is happening in the world, not only in Canada, but what is happening, because food doesn't stay at one place. Food travels. the food that we are producing in Canada here is to help other countries to also, get access to food. We sell some of the food product that we produce here to other countries. It goes to different places. So it is of a matter of concern that all institutions, all organizations, all individuals have to come together to support this Food Farm Talk program. And even we are hoping that other organizations can also even bring a sponsorship so that we can also sponsor this program.
Yeah,
They can also come and sponsor this so that in the future this program will become a very, very big platform whereby farmers, experts, researchers bring in their input to help the agriculture and then the food system in Canada and also in the entire world. So they should expect much from us, and we're also expecting much from them, that they join us every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. to contribute or to bring in their input to help the program, the Food Farm Talk program on CFRU 93.3 FM to become a very, 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 very bigger platform.
Very good commercializer. Yeah, we have to get you to do a little station ID too to promote it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Isaac, for coming
thank you,
on
Paul.
the show today, and you'll hear more from Isaac as we move forward. He'll be doing future episodes that will both be on the radio and on the podcast on multiple platforms. So they'll air here on the radio waves, just as Isaac has described, and wherever you get your podcast. So thanks for joining us today, and join us again next time for the next episode of Food Farm Talk.
Thank you. Bye-bye to all our listeners too.